Welcome to the Inner Shift Collective. It's a space that I created for the soul-led, the self-aware and the seekers. I'm your host, Nat Lamb, mindset mentor, salon owner and believer in the power of the inner shift transformation. This podcast is your invitation to come back to yourself. So let's begin. So what if I said that the change that you're searching for isn't something that's out there, but it's already within you? What if the peace you crave, the confidence that you're looking for, the alignment that you're seeking has already been there all along? Welcome to the Inner Shift Collective. This first episode is a very personal one. So before I dive into the tools, the mindset work, the meditations, etc., I want to share where this all began for me because, like you, I've had to learn how to shift from survival to self-connection. Not so long ago, I was renting a chair in a salon, and it didn't take long for it to become a very heavy atmosphere. You could feel the negativity. I was absorbing everyone's energy and the gossip and the tension and emotional chaos, and it all started to consume me. And I felt like I was drowning in a place that I was supposed to grow. And at that time, I'd just been diagnosed with combined ADHD. Now, if you have ADHD, but you didn't know, you know how tough it is when you're trying to figure out what is wrong with you. Why can't you just sink into society like everybody else? Why is everything such a task, so hard? Why is it that you're always the one that's difficult and causing complications? You know what I'm talking about if you've got ADHD. Once I was diagnosed, it all just clicked into place. And I realised it wasn't me just being sensitive. I was absolutely overstimulated. Being in a loud environment and a busy, energy draining space, it was just way too much for my nervous system. I was living in constant burnout, emotionally exhausted from trying to regulate what felt unmanageable. But I have learned along the way that my environment makes a massive impact, and I needed peace, control over my own energy. So I made a decision to create my own space and opened up my own salon. And let me tell you, that was my turning point. I'd created an environment where I could breathe, focus, feel aligned, a space that reflected the calm, creativity, intentional energy that I created. But here's the truth: even though the outer world had changed, I still felt that there was something inside of me that needed healing. The external shift was just on the surface, and what I really needed was an inner shift, a real deep connection. And I've always been drawn to meditation. I've done it for years, but over the past few years, I have begun to understand its true power. It's not just relaxation, it's subconscious work. Through consistent meditation, I began to connect with my thoughts, emotions, and energy on a completely different level. I started to feel the shift, not just thinking about things. I became more present, more grounded, more aware of the stories and beliefs that I've been living by. And if you've never heard of Dr. Joe Dispenza, I suggest you really have a good look at his work. It is absolutely phenomenal, and I can't stress enough how it will change your thought process. His work has opened my eyes in ways that I just can't describe. It helped me see how our thoughts create our reality, how we're not exactly victims of our circumstances, we are the creators of our circumstances. And that through repetition, intention, and stillness, we can actually rewire our brains and step into a completely different version of ourselves. I actually felt my perception of life expand. I felt deeply aware, deeply connected, and I knew in my heart that I had to share this with you. I know that there are people out there feeling lost, just like I was, overwhelmed, overstimulated, or just surviving the way that I was. And if I could shift, maybe they can too. And that was what this podcast was all about. So, what do I mean when I say the inner shift? Well, It's a moment when something inside of you just clicks and you begin to see things totally differently. It's not always about loud or dramatic. Sometimes it's quiet and it changes everything within you. An inner shift happens when you stop searching outside yourself and start to listen to your soul. It's meditation that speaks to your subconscious. It's breath work that helps regulate your nervous system. It's breaking through thought patterns that no longer serve you and creating new ones that empower you. It's not about fixing what's broken because you aren't broken. It's about remembering who you were before the world told you a different story about yourself. And here's the truth bomb. You already have everything within you to change your life. That there is the shift right there. So, from each episode of the Inner Shift Collected, we'll offer you real tools, heart-led conversations, spiritual guidance to help you reconnect to your true self. We'll also explore mindset rewiring, emotional mastery, meditation, nervous system healing, the science and soul of transformation, affirmations, daily rituals, personal stories of growth, truth, and self love. And whether you are new to this work or already walking that path, there is something here for everybody. You don't have to do anything alone. You're part of a collective now, and together we can shift. So let's take a moment right now, just here with me. Close your eyes and take a deep breath. Inhale through your nose and exhale slowly through your mouth. And repeat after me. I am safe to grow and I am open to receive. I am ready for my inner shift. This is only the beginning. So if this episode resonated with you, follow the show, share it with someone who you think may need it. And remember, you are never alone in your healing.